So we went outside, we looked at each other, and that was the end of the long con. Long con was dead. I do think that there is an interesting story after the long con.
Oh my.
It's just a matter of how much of that story we want to tell.
Oh yeah. Well, I've mentioned we're going to be in new digs. That's what you're alluding to,
Yeah,
right?
so we will see. Maybe there'll be some editing with this, or maybe me and Matt will just slap each other across the table when we're saying something we're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But I'm going to lead off with this. On Friday, probably before we open for registration or about that time. Do you have one prior to that?
Yes, if I may.
Okay.
So we had went together. Eddie's like, I want to ride with you when you go to pick up David Beatty, and I'd shampooed the truck. The David Beatty. And so I'd like shampooed the truck, washed it and out, waxed it, whatever, Simonized it. Anyway, so we went to pick up David, and he's like, I want to go with, and really, David's just a super great guy, and is always super nice.
Better than we deserve.
Really, absolutely. And he tells us some great stories and stuff that like, ooh la la, like you couldn't. He's talking out of school kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we went to pick him up. Well, when we got back at the hotel, it's Thursday night, and some of our awesome congoers have already arrived, paying for an extra day at the hotel to be there bright and early, even though we don't start up until 1 o'clock on Friday. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Matt, Eddie, they're down at the bar. Come have a drink. And we're like, sure, just a second. Well, here comes the person we'd been dealing with from the previous venue that came charging up. The first thing in our mouth was, we're going to have to go up on you next year. I'm like, why would you tell me that? Why would you make a point to scurry out from the back room to tell me that? So, I mean, that's so nebulous. It could be like, well, are we priced out? Is this the last one? Are we never doing this again? So the whole weekend, when I wasn't running wild, when I would get a slow moment for a second, that thought would flip in my head like, damn, this might be the last one. So it really kind of put a little bit of a black cloud over the proceedings for yours truly. Okay, and carry on.
So on Friday, as we're starting to get people rolling in, and they can, like you said, this is some new people up here that we're dealing with, and they're just fantastic and wonderful. I don't have anything bad to say about them. And they can, but this is the first time that they're ever getting to see it and go like, oh, okay, they do actually have people that show up. Mm-hmm. So as we're starting to get our people trickling in at the very beginning of it, I said, when can we talk about signing that contract for next year? And it's like, well, let me get back to you.
And then, so Eddie and I were really I think we've done this enough, and Eddie's so great in the way he sets up and plans things. Even when we know we're off the mark, we're still so damn good that other people don't even see it. But we knew personal best that we were kind of scrambling Friday to get our act together.
Oh yeah.
We didn't do some of the preparatory stuff we normally do, and we thought, is that necessary? What have we learned? Yeah, it's probably necessary to do that pre-function preparatory stuff. Anyway, this little same gal comes scurrying up to me and goes, oh, hey, we're going to need an extra 500 bones. And I'm like, what do you mean 500 bones? We've met with y'all 2 and 3 times and said,
this is it, right?
This is it, right? We're square, right? This is America. Do you know what your square means? I mean, we're paid up. So she, oh, no, there's tax, title, license, and the ancillary blip-blap fee. And I'm like, what? So we had to, what a great time to flat-foot us with that as we're setting up. Because what if we'd said, we're not going to pay it? They'd probably been, well, bye. So they know they've got you over a barrel. And that's the kind of stuff we dealt with in Shreveport, at that place. So I thought, wow, that's really bad form. But anyway, again, another black mark. Yeah.
So then we then we decided we were going to be able to meet with them. Was it the Tuesday after?
Yeah.
So the Tuesday after the con, we roll in and said, yeah, okay, we know we're going to go up. Well, I believe the rate was double, right?
Quadruple. Absolutely. What we're currently paying, it was going to be 4 times that.
Yeah,
nearly.
that's what it was.
Yeah. Not yet.
It's just been a month.
Yeah, I was going to say double would be one thing. Triple would be one thing. Quadruple.
I think we were expecting it might double. Because I will admit, we had a pretty sweet deal.
We had a preferential rate, sure. But at the same time, like I could see someone unproven not getting that kind of rate. But we'd been getting that rate and we'd proven ourselves. I think we were worthy of still some sort of a discount. But anyway, carry on. They're just going to charge us full price and then some.
Yeah. So then, even with that said, with it being like, well, we can't afford that, but we said, do you have the dates available if we want to do it? Well, let me go check. Nope, we booked somebody on that already. And then if you will remember this part of it, that really sticks in my craw is where they're like, yeah, we booked, I don't know, what was it, the Firemen's Association or Arson Squad, or I don't know what exactly they were. And I have no hard feelings on them. But she's like, yeah, we booked them on Friday, I think. Yeah. Basically the day that I had asked about, will we be able to redo it? She's like, yeah, those guys came in and did it. And boy, they wanted to make sure they got that weekend and they wanted to book it before you. So I'm like, yeah, thanks a lot.
You didn't give us the option.
Yeah, we didn't have our right of first refusal or anything.
Yeah, and that's been our weekend, whatever.
And I said, well, we could push forward a weekend. What do you got? Let me go and look. Nope, that's booked too. All right.
Perception is reality, and the perception was you're persona non grata. We don't even want you here. And I'm like, well, message received.
So we went outside, we looked at each other, and that was the end of the long con.
Yeah. We were like, yeah, you should have seen the looks on our faces. I mean, it was some long faces.
Yeah, it was like having to put Spot down.
Yeah, we were disheartened, and that doesn't do justice to our spirits. They were crushed.
But you may remember there was a cryptic message on Facebook for about 10 minutes where it was like, hey, we don't know what the future may hold. So yeah, for that brief moment in time, long con was dead.
Yeah. The last one would have been the last one. Yeah.
And then I said, on my way home, I passed by the other big venue. Just for fun. I think long con's dead, but just for fun, since I'm heading that way anyway, I'm going to stop by there. And you said, I'll go with you. I'm curious. I want to know too.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of like, well, the body's in the coffin.
Yeah.
Let's go see if we're going to get nails or not.
I'm saying, what's the worst that could happen? Oh boy, man, talk about a 180.
Yep.
We went from being absolutely crushed to being just, we can't lose,
So we shall see how this goes in the new spot. We're both really excited about it.
Super stoked.
But we need to figure out how we're going to get the word out.
But it's no exaggeration when I tell you that it's not just sour grapes. This is a much nicer hotel, a much nicer venue, bigger space. There's things that we've always said, like to the other one, like, hey, could you offer this or do this? No, you have to do it yourself. This place, without even asking, they're like, oh, we're going to provide you with this. And how would you like that? So, I mean, and if people like the boardrooms, we could have more boardrooms. We're going to do in the past, we've had people sponsor boardrooms. With sponsorship, they've got more than one boardroom. We can have multiple boardrooms. That's just cool.
Yep.
It's a big, beautiful space.
But the thing is we need to get the word out.
Yeah.
And how are we going to do that? How are we going to try and prevent getting in this situation again where it's like, oh, I guess it's dead.
Yeah.
It's going to have to grow, or I don't know.
One thing, if those of you who listen to this that actually attend the con, and if you know people that don't listen to the podcast that come, for the love of God, use the rate. You're not going to beat that rate that they give us through hotels.com or whatever, or I'll use my hotel points or whatever. The thing is, what helps us get these things and maintain these things and keep the rate that we get is generating sales for the hotel through that rate. I literally want to beat my head against the wall over here. We'll provide these rates and these links, and people just do not use it. And it's a shame because, like, we're talking about the rate that we're getting at this place. I was astonished. I guarantee by the time the con rolls around, you won't be able to get a hotel room anywhere for that price. I mean, I'm just astonished. So definitely, and even if you were like, I could save $5 on Travagio, dude, come on, man, use the link. We need that,
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the point if it's like, well, should I buy a T-shirt from you guys or should I book a night? Book a night. Don't